Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Widener Show, powered by SoundWeb Studios. Visit online at soundwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Widener Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Widener Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Widener Show on over 30 podcast platforms and the MikeWidenerShow.com, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, and more. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Widener Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Widener Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Widener Show podcast or the MikeWidenerShow.com. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, lots of goodies. Makes great gifts year-round, 24/7, 365 for your loved ones. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check out his great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. And also check out the merchandise of T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, a lot more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Make sure you check it out today. Also support us on Anchor FM as well as PayPal and the MikeWidenerShow.com. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who founded a clothing company that offers an unparalleled innovation, which is quality style with a comfortable, well fit, shirts, socks, and straps and just about everything. And going back to days where dressing up is cool and make it bring back again. And of course, the purpose of the brand is to empower and of course, outfit the complete man. And this gentleman's a former Marine. He was also vice president of public safety at CSX. Also, he was the Secretary of Public Safety and member of the Governor's Cabinet of Virginia. He also worked for the state of Virginia. He graduated from Penn State in politics, also a JD for the University of Virginia Law School, and also London School of Economics in Public Policy. So, and this gentleman right here is just straight on, and he's got some great outfits. He'll be happy to talk about this guy's dressed in nines. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida, outside the studios, the very multi-talented and founder of ACUMEN.com, and he's fit to the nines, Bryan Rhode. Bryan, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Mike. That was a terrific introduction. I really appreciate that.
Well, I'll tell you something. It's like after I look at your shirt, I look at, so your socks, your straps and everything that says, I've got to buy this to be dressed to the nines. I mean, seriously, it's like,
yes,
it's time we get back to the office and get dressed up and everything. But first of all, let's talk about how you found the clothing company that offers unparalleled innovation, quality, and style, which is comfortable. And you don't have to play with it or sag or anything like that. And the purpose of the brand, we'll talk about that. Also, you're a former Marine, vice president of public safety, also worked for the state of Virginia. You graduate from Penn State, as well as University of Virginia Law School, London School of Economics, and a lot more. And before getting to all that, Bryan, tell us how you first got started.
So, Mike, I left the corporate world and I took a little time off, and I was thinking about doing something entrepreneurial, and I was thinking about a problem that I had. And after I graduated law school, I was a prosecutor for quite a while, and I spent a lot of time in the courtroom in front of juries and judges. And back then, this is only 5 or 6 years ago, men's clothes were baggy, shirts were baggy. We had pleated pants.
Guilty, baggy. You're baggy, guilty.
Guilty. And then all of a sudden, over the next couple of years, things kind of slimmed down for men's apparel, particularly for professional men. And I had this problem when I was working in the corporate world where I liked these slimmer shirts, but because they kind of hugged your core a little bit more closely, I found I had to tuck my shirt in every time I got up from my desk.
Oh my gosh, I hate that. Oh.
And it just got frustrating. And so when I had been a Marine, as you'd mentioned earlier in my life, and I've done a couple of things, there were these things called shirt stays, and they're elastic bands that attach to your shirt and then to your socks, and they keep your socks up and your shirt down. But they're kind of impractical for daily wear. They just take a little while to put on, and depending on what kind of shirt you're wearing or what kind of socks you have, they may not attach very well. So when I'd worked in the corporate world, I sort of created a crude prototype where I cut off the top of the shirt stays, sewed into my shirt, and tried to improve the connection to the socks. And had worn that for a couple of years, and uh, was eventually able to develop that into what we now have is the sort of patent pending ACUMEN set, which is a great fitting shirt and wonderful quality with stretch and breathability, sort of a top notch professional dress shirt with shirt stays that are very easy to attach, stay attached, and specially designed socks, which help it all come together much more easily. And that's sort of the foundational element of this brand that we're trying to build, which is really about empowering men. It's similar to Sarah Blakely and Spanx, and I'm sure you're probably familiar with her company, but she started
Mm-hmm.
with something that she eventually began to call shapewear.
Mm-hmm.
And the focus of her company was not just great products, but really solving problems for women in terms of their apparel. And we want to do something for men because there are plenty of problems, particularly for professional guys, is they go to the office, and a lot of people, as you mentioned, are starting to return to the office now after this pandemic. And there's a lot of problems with men's apparel. And I want to make those things easier. I want to make those things that guys will worry about in terms of their appearance go away so they can feel confident, they can look their best, and they can take on their day and they can go out there and win. And that's really what this brand is about. So the set that we talked about is really the foundational element, but we want to build it out into a lot more products. And we have a lot more ideas about how we can do that.
And of course, I'm talking about with the shirts and socks and everything else. What material is it made of? Is like 100% cotton, or what material are those made out of?
So we use spandex, nylon, a couple of different materials. So our shirts are actually broken down into 4 categories because we want to, as you mentioned, outfit the complete man. And our first category is the executive category. And that's for guys like I was going to the office, going to the courtroom where you have to have a more traditional dress shirt. We've made those with a little bit of stretch. And then we have our disruptor category, which has a little bit more cotton material mixed in, but they're much more fashion forward. And those are the kind of shirts that you might wear if you're going out in the town with clients in the evening. And then we have an entrepreneur category, which is really stretchy. And that's for a good casual Friday where you want to roll up your sleeves, you want to be able to move around, you're wearing jeans, you don't want to feel too constrained. And then ultimately we have the Renaissance man category where we have our tuxedo shirts and our evening wear. So there's a mix of materials that we use depending on the effect that we're trying to have. We're still iterating and improving on all those. But we think if we can fill those 4 categories, we'll meet most of the apparel needs for guys, particularly professional men.
That is very amazing. I like what you got. And of course, we'll have, we'll talk more about that as well, too. And how do you order and more about ACUMEN? We'll find out just a minute. First, you listen to the Mike Widener Show at the MikeWidenerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention the Mike Widener Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Widener Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forrest Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Widener Show can be heard at the MikeWidenerShow.com, over 30 podcast platforms. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Widener Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Widener Show on Instagram and Twitter today for great gift ideas. Go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Widener Show and the MikeWidenerShow.com. And for more great gift ideas, including t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, great books by Mia Molson-Zia, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Make sure you order today. Also support us on Anchor FM and also on PayPal. And don't forget to donate to the MikeWidenerShow.com. Make sure you do so today. We're here with the founder of ACUMEN and the amazing Bryan Rhode here on the Mike Widener Show. And before we get to back with ACUMEN as well, too, and how men can get more involved and get more information or order your amazing works. You've been in Marines for a little bit as well, too, before going to corporate world. And what inspired you to get into the Marines in the first place?
Well, thanks for asking, Mike. I actually grew up as a military kid. My father was in the Navy, and then my older brother also went into the Marine Corps. And so I kind of always wanted to try it. I knew that that's the route that I was going to go. And I went to college and I had an ROTC scholarship, and I got involved with the Navy ROTC, which includes the Marines. And then over in the summers, I would spend my time in boot camp or officer candidate school. And when I graduated college, I went straight in the Marine Corps, and I was in the infantry for a couple of years and did a couple deployments. And a big part of the genesis of this idea for ACUMEN really came from my experience in the Marine Corps. And for those of your listeners who may not have served, if they've ever seen a Marine in dress uniform and how sort of sharp and tight they look with their shirts, pulled tight and dressed down, that's shirt stays. That's how they make that happen. And we've tried to take that concept and really improve on it and make it a lot easier for guys going out to work in the corporate world or even in Silicon Valley or anywhere else to have that same kind of look, have that same kind of confidence, and solve those problems. So when they go make that big board presentation or make that big pitch in front of a venture capitalist, they're not worried about their shirt hanging out or whether they look frumpy or untucked. They know they look the best they possibly can, and they can focus all their efforts on that presentation or that task at hand.
And that's very amazing too. You got a great story, and just a couple of things. Where did you go in deployment, and also the maybe your best Marine story?
Sure. So I did two deployments, and we would go to Okinawa, Japan, and then we would get on ships from there, and we go all over the Pacific. And it was just an amazing experience. I would say probably one of my most amazing moments in the Marine Corps was we got to go to Iwo Jima
Oh
on one of my
wow.
deployments, and it's an amazingly iconic Marine Corps battlefield, and it's in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and you really can't go there unless you have special permission from the Japanese government. They've essentially left it there as a tomb, so things are untouched. You can still go into the caves. You can climb Mount Suribachi. You can lay on that beach with the black sulfur volcanic sand. And it's a little bit more grown over than it was during the battle, but it's just an amazing place to go because other than a small Japanese airfield, there's nothing there. And you think
Um,
about the amazing valor of the Marines that fought there. And, one of the Marines that I served with when we went there, his grandfather had won the Medal of Honor on Iwo Jima, so that
oh
was
my gosh.
particularly neat. Yes, so that was a pretty amazing experience.
And that had to be amazing experience as well too. The fact that you also went on to Penn State, you mentioned you got a
Yes,
Juris Doctorate from University of Virginia Law School and London School of Economics. That sounds rather
yes, sir.
interesting.
That was a great year. So when I finished law school, my then fiance and I, my wife now, we went over to London for a year and we studied. We met some terrific friends, and it was just a very different environment to learn and a very different type of academics, and the diversity of people from all over the world was absolutely amazing. So it was a year where I really grew a lot, learned quite a bit, and am certainly happy that I had. And we traveled some too, so that was also a good part of it.
And of course, the people are pretty well dressed, I'm sure too, and also got some inspiration of that. Maybe the Japanese probably took a page from it too. So,
Yes, they always tend to dress a little bit more formally than we do, but it's interesting. Men's fashions have really sort of evolved in the last couple of years, and while we are more casual in some ways, there are still many occasions where you're expected to, and men like to dress up and look a little bit sharper, a little bit more professional. And as we mentioned earlier, particularly with the pandemic, hopefully coming uh, down a little bit in terms of some of the quarantines and such, people are starting to go back to the office. And if you're heading back to the office, I hope you'll take a look at us because we think this is the kind of product that can sort of help you start a new chapter, really look sharper when you go into that professional environment, or even when you go out for the evening with clients. And that's what we want to do. We want to be here to empower men. It's again what we talk about. We want to equip that complete man. We want to equip him to go out and win and feel that empowerment of looking good.
and what do you see as the next fashion trend?
That's a very good question. You and I had discussed it, where there's folks who are now into or back into three-piece suits and wearing them on more occasions. But I think in terms of men's professional wear, it's combining that professional sharp look with comfort. So traditionally, men's dress shirts, suits oftentimes were wool, they were cotton, they were hot, they didn't breathe, they didn't stretch. So I think the real trend moving forward, and you start to see it with some of these newer companies that are coming out, each one with maybe a little tweak of innovation, I think the real combination you're seeing is if you can get that look, that really sharp professional look, and actually have a lot of comfort built in there, whether it's breathability, stretch, or any other type of thing that helps you feel more comfortable while you're wearing professional attire. That's really where we're headed. And I think you're going to see the companies that can innovate the most quickly and the most effectively in that direction are the ones that are going to be the most successful.
And of course, speaking of success as well, too, who are some of your favorite fashion designers growing up, or maybe who you like took a page off of when you started Acumen, like say Calvin Klein, or
Yep.
say with oh gosh, I'm trying to think of one or two, but well, you get the idea though. So
Oh, there are a number out there, Mike. It's a great question. So I've, at least, since I started this endeavor, I've really focused on those ones that I think are innovating. So, you look at a company like Spanx, they do some men's stuff. They're primarily women's items, but they've really been an inspiration to me in terms of the dress shirt space. Companies like Twillery do a very good job. Ministry of Supply, I was able to meet with and speak to the founder of that company, and Bonobos as well. While they do pants, it's something that I've looked at because that's a space that we want to expand into. And
Mhm.
it's these companies that find something that's new and unique and different, and actually uh, try to change men's apparel in a way where you can meet the need of the person who's wearing it, but at the same time innovate it and improve on it.
And let's say the person wants to order now, like like with the shirts, the socks, the strap, and everything else. And how does the process work, and how do people
Perfect.
order and go about it?
Absolutely. Great, Mike. So you can find us at shopacumen.com, www.shopacumen.com. We have an absolutely terrific website. I work with a wonderful marketing company in Maine, and they have really done a terrific job of taking what we call the Acumen set and making it an absolutely seamless process, even for people that aren't tremendously familiar with shirt stays and what this patent pending set does. And so we have a specialized bundler on our website, and it'll just walk you right through it. You pick your shirt, you pick your shirt stays, you pick your socks. It is super easy. We have a great initial selection, and it's pretty a seamless experience. So just go to the website, check it out. And if any reason you have any questions, email us at info@shopacumen.com, or you can find our phone number there on the website.
We certainly will do so. What's coming up for Bryan Rhode of Acumen? We'll find out just a minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for early needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mulsey of Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with the founder of Acumen, Bryan Rhode, after this time out. We're back with the founder of ACUMEN, Bryan Rhode, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Just dressed to the nines and learned a lot. And what else can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond, Bryan?
Thanks, Mike. So our next item that we are going to release, and it should be released here shortly before Christmas, are undershirts. So again, that ethos of solving problems for men in apparel. As I mentioned, I really liked personally when the dress shirts sort of slimmed down a couple of years ago, but I also found that if you just bought your average Fruit of the Loom undershirt off the rack in Walmart or wherever, first of all, it would bunch up underneath your shirt, and you'd have the lines and the creases of the undershirt underneath your shirt that were visible. But also, you washed it once and it shrank to about a third of its original size.
Oh my
And
gosh, I've had that bag sprint. It's like, oh my gosh.
yeah, so we have this great modal material that we've developed. So these undershirts are absolutely super soft and comfortable. They are form fitting. We've cut them so that they're longer and they won't hang out along your waistline. And they're just, I think, the perfect antidote to some of the problems of, wearing a tighter, more athletic, slim fit dress shirt. And so it's all part of the process and the brand building that we're engaged in, where we've started with this set to solve that problem of keeping your shirt tucked in, having a great fit, great cut, great stretch, great breathability. And now we're going to go into the dress shirts. And then hopefully when we get into 22, our next step is some ideas for dress pants and then coats. And as we continue to find success, we'll continue to build that out. But again, our focus will always be solving problems and creating a brand that helps men feel great about themselves so they can go out there every day and win.
You certainly do a great job of it, and we encourage all the men to do so. And just a few more things, Bryan. Who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Mike, I have been tremendously blessed, and I've had a number of great mentors. And, from the time when I went into ROTC and some of the older Marines that I served with, my godfather, who was a Marine, my father, who was in the Navy, I don't know if I can pinpoint one single person, but, was talking to a gentleman just the other day and was asking, why I did the things I did in my career and the successes I've had and the failures I've had, and what did I attribute, the successes to in particular. And I think it was just having great mentors along the way. I had great bosses in the Marine Corps. I had a great boss in state government when I worked for a governor. He was just an absolutely terrific man. I had a great boss when I was in the corporate world. She was an absolute amazing leader, and I learned so much from her. And having watched great people and having that fortune of having a couple of great bosses, a couple of great mentors, I think it really, helped me take on the endeavor of entrepreneurship, which can be pretty scary at times. I'm sure you've heard that from your guests before.
And they can attest to that, and
Yes.
being dressed in Heinz on that.
Yes.
And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
I think if you're interested in trying something on your own, first of all, do it. I mean, it's like the Teddy Roosevelt "Man in the Arena" quote. I mean, even if you fail, at least you failed trying. You're not going to be, as he would say, those cold, timid souls who have known neither victory nor defeat. Give it a try. Chase your dream. Give it a shot, even if you don't make it. And I think the key to, entrepreneurship anywhere is just persistence. I mean, there's going to be those nights where you wake up in a cold sweat and think, what the heck am I doing? But you just got to push through it. You got to fight through those problems. You're going to have plenty of times where you think there's no way you can solve an issue, but you work your way through it and you just keep going.
That is such great advice. And I love Teddy Roosevelt. He's pretty much got the best to it. I mean, he just hit the nail on the head. That was so amazing. We're here with the founder of ACUMEN, Bryan Rhode, here on the Mike Widener Show. Bryan, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely great. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date, keep in touch, and look forward to having you on. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact, where can people purchase or check out your goods?
Thanks, Mike. Yes, check us out at shopacumen.com, and you get us on social media at Acumen Apparel, both LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. I hope you come like us, follow us, check out our products. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email us. All our information's on the site, and we're really excited to interface with new customers. Quick aside, Mike. Some of the most enthusiastic folks when they've seen this product have been my friends' wives. They look at that and they say, "Wow, yeah, absolutely, you need that. Your shirt's always untucked.
Wow.
You should buy that." So I'd say, probably about 20% of my customers have been ladies buying for their husbands to try and get them to look a little bit on the sharper side. So,
oh my gosh,
yeah.
Those are always the best critics, wives. I gotta say
Exactly.
that. It's like my wife dresses me all the time, except for
Yes.
this here, but it's like she dresses me to nines unbelievably. It's great.
Yes,
A salute to
exactly.
all the wives out there dressing their husbands. They're great. Once again, Bryan, a very big thank you for your time. You've been totally terrific. Well, looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date, keep in touch, and look forward to having you on again. And we wish you all the best. You've got a great future ahead of you.
Thanks, Mike. Sounds great. I appreciate it.